What's up, YouTube? You're watching RC Fiend, and we're about to do the part 2 of the TRX4 pulling the trailer in this video. But first, I want to go ahead and show you what I'm doing and kind of a little sneak peek on the design I went with. This is all just coming from my head, but I think this is pretty cool. I think this is going to work. I'm sure it's been done. It's freaking awesome. Let me show you what I come up with. Okay, in the first video, the first part, these broke. You see, I already take this side off. These broke right here because they're so tall and really no support behind them. So when it flexes, it pushes back on them. I mean, it bounces. It's got suspension, but it's not how I wanted it. Of course, this is just the first trailer I've ever built. The design I got going on. So let me show you what I did to fix that. Sorry about the background noise. I do have my 3D printer going right now, printing up one of the parts. And yeah, so if you hear something, that's what you hear. Okay, these are the first things also in the center. They're solid as well. These held up. As you can see, this is off that same side where all the other ones broke. Well, this is the design I came up with for the ones that broke. Instead of the straight up and down, this is what I came up with. They have more support when they bend back. They don't need any coming this way because it never pulls that way. But I was like, that's not enough. So I went ahead and I printed this little setup right here. You might be wondering, what in the world is this? Well, it replaces this. It's the same length. The center, really the edges are taken off, and I've put a little bevel right on the edges like that. And this right here is a little weird looking thing. It goes, which this is still a prototype, this one is right here, and it goes there. Well, these weren't printed long enough, and I didn't print the holes in it, so I tried to drill it and screwed it up. So I was like, you know what, screw it, we're gonna make it. So I finally got some black filament in. That's why all that's in red. And I went ahead and printed these, and I sat them on the trailer, and it's a fail. Not because the design is flawed, like braking wise, but there's a bolt on my trailer about right here to this piece right here. So what I had to do is redesign this, trial and error. I put a gap in between. Now all I need is just this look. Well, let me get off that. Come on, click off. There we go. All I need is just some support. So yeah, I know that's gonna be a little weak, but the bolt is exactly that gap. So that bolt should also help hold that together. This is my masterpiece. I love it. Of course, I ain't got the rears on it, but focus. When this goes up and down, each axle can float on their own. Now, I'm pretty sure you're probably wondering the same thing I'm wondering. How strong is this? Well, folks, I don't know, but we're going to test it, and we're going to try to break it. So, we're going to print it out for both sides. That's still the standard side. Nothing broke over there. And we're going to throw it all together, and we should be good. Now, the tires, definitely, we should have went with something beefier than these. These are terrible, but we looked up trailer wheels. They didn't really have an option, but these popped up, so I went with it. So we're gonna probably throw some big beefy tires on this thing to also help, and hopefully be able to go over some rocks too. This thing dragged a lot, but let's get to printing all these and throw it all together. All right, we got it done. You just seen the whole time lapse of the process of it being done. We're gonna pull it off the printer now and see what they look like. Take this blade right here and you try your best not to mess the machine up, the bed of it. You want to keep it flat, and you just hit the edges like that. It should pop right off. Always want to push it back. Now, that's what you love right there, when the filler pops off on its own. It's awesome. There's no cutting, nothing. So let me trim this one out and I'll get back with you. Alright, excuse all the dust. I just sanded some mud on my wall to prep it for paint. But this is not the best run. These are prototypes. The bed does need to be leveled again. You can see how rough it's printing up top. It should definitely be a lot smoother. This is how it really should print right here. Of course, it's got some mess up. But a good bit of it, I accidentally printed it on 100% speed, which is a very bad idea because you get imperfections like that. So yeah, don't leave it on 100%. I don't know how those holes are gonna do being that close. But all in all, I think they're nice, decent. We're gonna throw them on a trailer, see how they hold up. We're gonna see if they break with this test, the second test, and if they do, we will be back to the drawing board. So let's throw these on a trailer and see how they look. All right, we now have the new pieces on the trailer. I wasn't gonna go with this in the back. I wish this was a little longer, but I didn't want it sticking over because I didn't think when the hinge works, which is this right here. Let's see if I can do it without the trailer falling out. But I got hinges on it for it to be a tilt trailer in the future. It goes all the way back, and it's pretty daggone perfect. It's hard to get a camera angle with it sitting on my lap, but yeah, it worked out pretty good. Now we just gotta print the other side and see how it holds. I hope this idea works a lot better than the original. I mean, it's got a lot of torque, or tension on it, I should say. I don't know how long it's gonna last, if it'll even work. Hopefully we can get it level and stay level. I'm assuming once I put it on the ground, it'll level itself out from the weight. But all in all, I think it looks pretty daggum good. I think it's gonna last. And we can get the suspension figured out. We're definitely gonna get the tilt working on this thing. I don't have no mechanism to make it tilt yet, other than the hinges. But once we figure out how to get this thing to tilt, we will definitely be throwing it on there. But on to the printing of the other side to install those. And then the ultimate test is actually pulling this around with the TRX4. Alright, so it's the next day. We had some technical difficulties with the printer. I finally got it figured out. We got all the parts printed out and put on the trailer. I'm about to show you the trailer here in just a second. And we're gonna be pulling the Hoss today. It's the Traxxas Hoss. It's a pretty big truck. It should fit on the trailer pretty perfect. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna fit perfectly because I made this trailer pretty big. But all the suspension moves now. We shouldn't have no braking or any of that stuff. The only thing I worry about is how skinny the moving parts are. So if anything does break, that's gonna be it, and we will beef it up for sure. If we don't break it, we ain't doing it right. All right, we're back in the RC room. Let me go ahead and grab this trailer for you and show what I have done to it so far. All right, so we have the moving center leaf spring links. It's a bit tight. You see it pops. That's one thing I don't like, but I really don't want to move this bracket over and this bracket over this way, because I kind of do want a tight suspension because I don't want it to just be sloppy. And I fixed the wheels too. They were locking up as I was driving it for some reason, but I figured that out. I didn't use locking nuts on the back side. My mistake. But so far, so good. Got them on both sides. We're about ready to push this thing. We're gonna see what we can do. I got them both the same way now. But the cool thing is it'll flex. And it should flex perfectly. Like, wish I had a little bit more wobbling room, but I can make that happen if I made these move too. But it's no big deal. We're gonna see how this thing runs today. We're gonna be pulling the Hoss, and yeah, it's a pretty big truck. So let's try it out. All right, it's a little later in the day. I had to go buy some bungee cords because my straps that I'm making right now for these trailers that I'm building, which are freaking awesome, you'll see them soon, they're not done yet. So we had to go get some bungee cords that were small enough and didn't look tacky. But we got them, and we're about to do the first pull with the new leaf spring mounts, the rockers, and the end mounts. And we're pulling the house, and we're gonna see how it does. This is what it looks like right here. Looks really good. Thing fits on there perfectly. Right over the axles. It's even. Get it all hooked up. Let's see what it does. All right. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Truck's still running with the new terminals on it. And trailer's still in one shape. Of course, I didn't get it on video. I done one more run down the driveway at full speed. And I'm nowhere near the truck. And I see something looks very wrong. Let me go look at it and show you what happened. Yeah, about that, I do not know how that came off, because there's a cap. Okay, let's find the wheel. Okay, I found the wheel. I think I see what happened. The nut on the inside of there, yeah, it's stripped. I don't know how. Not the edge here, but the nut inside the wheel behind that cap right there. Uh-oh. Well, trailer, a win. Truck, fail. Okay, now we got to work on the wheel. Don't know what's going on with it. Let's take it inside, take it apart, and see what we can figure out about it. All right, we're back in the house now. We had a complete failure on the truck this time. Pulled amazingly, I'm not gonna lie. This truck, when I hit a hard spot, like in the grass or a tall dirt pile or even some leaves, it would kind of just start spinning in high gear because it was just too fast for it. So I'd pop it in low, not a problem. It was so smooth. Couldn't really get much out here. I definitely need to take it out to a more natural area, drive it around, and then unload the hauls off of it and drive it around. But I have to wait for a new battery to come in for that. But right now, we got to figure out what happened at his wheel. They're brand new. I hope the whole hub is not stripped. I've noticed three problems now with the truck. Now look at it. Truck ain't made for hauling, of course, but one of the problems I've found is that the glue that I use, the super glue, and I glued my magnetic body mounts to the truck, pulled off the paint and pulled it from the body. So now it kind of looks silly because now I have a clear strip on the hood. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I might put a sticker cowl on it and just re-glue up under it, and it should stay. I might even if I glue it with some clear glue, it might even fix it because the paint's still stuck there. But we got that problem. The wheel fell off, you saw that, and I just realized my whole rear axle now isn't turning. First it was just the right wheel that fell off. Now it's both sides. It has no power. I don't know what's going on. We're more than likely gonna have to rebuild the rear end on this thing. We might even have to buy some new parts because I'm pretty sure it's all stripped. I've had it for a while now. I put it through hell. You go back and watch some of Quade Crabtree's videos on YouTube. We've done this for a while now. He's got some really good videos of the Sin and of the TRX4s when I put mine on there, and Lonnie put his on there with the Bronco body. Go hit him up. Show him some love. Also, I'll put his link down in the description. But right now, we need to start tearing apart this wheel and find out what happened. All right, we got it taken apart. We got this off. The threads look fine on here. Can't really get focus on it. Focus. Okay, for some reason, it will not focus on this nut. This hex is stripped, and it allowed the nut to back off. Well, hold on, I'm gonna have to put the phone down for this one. Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened there. It must just not have been really tight, because it's not stripped. It's all strong. When I spin this, the other wheel over there spins, so I know it's not stripped. I don't know what happened. Now we need to address this problem. See how clear that is? There's supposed to be paint there. That's from my magnetic body mounts. It just pulled the paint off the clear body. That's kind of trash because this body's brand new. Got fresh paint on it. And it's got some light spots, dark spots, but we painted this in the dark, so it's kind of hard to do. We needed it the next morning. But yeah, we gotta address that problem. We'll fix that somehow. But all in all, truck done amazing. I freaking loved it this time. Trailer didn't break. Trailer's in one piece. I even hit some stumps, some rocks, and it pulled right through them. There was this one spot I got stuck in, but that's because the truck was just wheel hopping when it got stuck. So I just picked up the rear of the trailer and pulled the branches from under it. I got a lot of twigs in my yard. We just had a storm roll through the last 2 days, blew down some twigs. But other than that, I think this video went very well for the part 2. Definitely going to be a part 3 because I did not expect my wheel to come off like that. But we're going to put this thing in the park or something and find out what we can do. Because I'm thinking I pull this truck, or pull the trailer with this truck and have Lonnie's Blazer on the back. You ain't seen that one on the channel yet. Definitely going to be on here. So we're going to take this out to a park down the street and let these things rip. Thanks for watching this video this time. And I really do appreciate you watching, every one of you who actually do watch. There's definitely more to come. Definitely going to be a part 3 to this video. And again, once I hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a RC truck giveaway. It's going to be great. I haven't made my mind up on which one. I probably won't for a while because there's going to be plenty of new ones come in by the time I hit 1,000. But I do appreciate every one of you watching this video and every one of you that subscribes. We are going to probably do a collab here soon with Quade. I'll leave his link down in the description. Once again, cool guy. He wants to run it a couple more times just to, you know, get out and do some fun things. Go back to the old days. Not really get back into it, but just have a good day. So if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like. If you disliked it, dislike it. I don't care. Remember, always, always continue to be an RC fiend. Thank you.